Yeshayah, Isaiah chapter 44. But now hear, O Jacob my servant, and Israel whom I have chosen. Thus said Yah who made you and formed you from the womb, who helps you. Do not fear, O Jacob my servant, and Yeshurun whom I have chosen. For I pour water on the thirsty, and floods on the dry ground. I pour my spirit on your seed, and my blessing on your offspring. And they shall spring up among the grass like willows, by streams of water. One says, I belong to Yah. Another calls himself by the name of Jacob. Another writes with his hand unto Yah, and names himself by the name of Yisrael. Thus said Yah, sovereign of Yisrael, and his Redeemer, Yah of hosts. I am the first, and I am the last. Besides me there is no Elohim. And who is like me? Let him call and declare it, and lay it before me, since I appointed the everlasting people, and the events that are coming, and those that do come. Let them declare these to them. Do not fear, nor be afraid. Have I not since made you hear and declared it? You are my witnesses. Is there an Eloah besides me? There is no other rock, I know not one. Those who make an idol, all of them are emptiness, and their delights do not profit, and they are their own witnesses. They neither see nor know, so that they are put to shame. Who would form a mighty one or cast an idol that is of no value? See, all his companions are ashamed, and the workmen, they are but men. Let them all be gathered together. Let them stand up. Let them fear. Let them be put to shame altogether. The craftsman in iron with the tools works the one in the coals, and fashions it with hammers, and works it with the strength of his arms. Even so he shall be hungry, and has no strength. He drinks no water, and is weary. The carpenter stretches out his rule. He outlines it with chalk. He fashions it with a plane, and he outlines it with the compass, and makes it like the figure of a man, according to the comeliness of a man, to remain in the house. He cuts down cedars for himself, and takes cypress and oak, which he raised among the trees of the forest. He has planted a pine, and the rain nourishes it. And it shall be for a man to burn, for he takes some of it and warms himself. He also kindles it and shall bake bread. He also makes a mighty one and bows himself to it. He is made of the carved image and falls down before it. Half of it he shall burn in the fire. With this half he eats meat. He roasts the roast and is satisfied. He also warms himself and says, Aha, I am warm. I have seen the fire. And the rest of it he makes into a mighty one, his carved image. He falls down before it and worships, prays to it, and says, Deliver me, for you are my mighty one. They do not know nor understand, for he has smeared their eyes from seeing, and their hearts from understanding. And no one recalls it to his heart, nor is there knowledge nor understanding to say, I have burned half of it in the fire, and I have also baked bread on its coals. I have roasted meat and eaten it. And shall I make the rest of it an abomination? Should I fall down before a log of wood? Feeding on ashes, a deceived heart turns him aside, and he does not deliver his being, nor says, Is there not a lie in my right hand? Remember these matters, O Jacob, and Yisrael, for you are my servant. I have formed you. You are my servant. O Yisrael, do not forget me. I shall wipe out your transgressions like a cloud, and your sins like a mist. Return to me, for I shall redeem you. Sing, O heavens, for Yah shall do it. Shout, O depths of the earth. Break forth into singing, O mountains, forests, and every tree in it. For Yah shall redeem Jacob, and make himself clear in Israel. Thus said Yah your Redeemer, and he who formed you from the womb. I am Yah doing all, stretching out the heavens all alone, spreading out the earth with none beside me, frustrating the signs of the babblers, and driving diviners mad, turning wise men backward and making their knowledge foolish, confirming the word of his servant and completing the counsel of his messengers, who says of Jerusalem, Be inhabited, and of the cities of Yehuda, they shall be built, and her ruins raised up by me. Who was saying to the deep, Be dry, and your rivers I dry up? Who was saying of Koresh, He is my shepherd, and he completes all my pleasure? Even saying to Jerusalem, Let her be built, and to the Hekal, let her foundation be laid.